and I came across this blog, Fly Fishing Costa Rica. They've got, their emblem has a sailfish, a tarpon, and what appears like a trout. So that's pretty cool. It looks like there's a variety of fish species that people fish for in Costa Rica. What caught my attention was the Machaca fruit fly. I think this one might be useful for me. I've seen carp feeding on berries in the waters I fish. That looks like a machaca. That looks like a pacu to me, but it's kind of slimmed out, and they call it a machaca. So that's, I think, what they're using this to fish for, but the process is relatively simple. You've got cork, a wine cork, shaped, and then you attach it to a hook, and I think we could do that. It seems like there's some weight distribution that's important. And then depending on the species you're going to fish for, you'd need the appropriate size hook. But having the weight, I think, will keel the fly. Making sure it lands in a proper position. So that's what we'll try to do today, and then if we have time, we can do some other ones, and then they do a little paint job. I think I would do mine red, because it seems like the berries that fall off the trees where I fish are more reddish hue. So we will go ahead and get started. I have my cork. I've been saving this cork for a long time. We'll try to be judicious with this cork so we can get a couple patterns out of it, and then but we'll split it. I need a good knife. I don't know if I have a good knife. I've got some knives. Need a blade. Yeah, here's a blade. So we'll take our cork, and the first cut I'm gonna do is just, a cylinder. Create a cylinder. The cork cut's pretty easy. Working it around. And then I'm thinking I can get two smaller cylinders from this. So we will give it a chop. Now the cork is a little brittle, now that it's cut into smaller pieces, but we were able to split it. The part does it have to be of absolute clean circle? I'm a little bit because you could just start taking the edges off slowly. Yeah, I'll start with that. So I'll go ahead and hopefully I don't cut myself here. Just start taking edges off of this. See if we can get some kind of shape without sacrificing too much of the cork. But I've never tied with cork before. One day I hope to do like a cork popper. That'd be pretty cool. So we'll take this edge off. And then we can take this little guy off. And then we'll take this little edge off. this edge off here. Yeah, the cutting is getting a little tricky now. I want decent surface area toward the bottom. You can see how brittle it is. They make those synthetic corks. That might be nice to use. I don't know if you actually need wood cork. Take this edge off. And we're getting more of a ball now, but we're also falling apart a little bit. Soften this edge. Okay, so not much, doesn't look like much. We'll go in with the sharper razor and start shaping more. This is cutting better. I think you need to be very careful when you do this. Just little bits at a time. How big do you want your berry to be? I don't know. Also, I don't think it has to be a perfect circle. I think if you can get a clean oval shape, enough to work with, that might be the way to go. We dropped our berry. I think that might be good enough for us. So the question is, this cork has like this natural split. We do have to create an incision, but do we want to use that split or try to hide that split? I think we're gonna try to hide it. Let's make the incision on the most solid part of our cork here. I'm gonna make it fairly deep. And I'm gonna make a V, try to knock out some of that. So that's our incision. That's where it'll attach to the hook. And then hopefully we can fill in those gaps with like the paint. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping for. Picking a hook. I think we want a pretty stout hook. So whatever's eating this berry I think is going to be pretty strong. Might have to make that incision deeper, but that's I'm kind of tempted to like add some feathers or something to the back, but they don't do that in Costa Rica, so I won't do it. But let's notch this out just a little bit more. Try to get a little bit deeper. Okay. Let's thread up. They were doing the keel weight, so I want to do that too. And this will be very experimental when I fish this. I imagine when you're fishing this, you just throw it, plop it, let it soak, throw it, plop it, let it soak. It might even be like a sight fishing thing, where you're just casting it, hoping the sound attracts the fish, which it will. That's enough weight. We don't want it to impede the connection point to the cork to the shank. I'm going to go over the thread, the lead-free round wire, just to try to secure it in a little bit more. It's going to look ugly, but there's nothing pretty about this fly. That'll just secure it a bit more. Grab the thread base, tie it off. Carving out the cork didn't take, it took about 10 minutes, which is less than I expected. And then we'll do our super. We'll do some, just a drop on the wire. Spread that around. Make sure that gets locked in. And then we will throw on our berry. Maybe glue on the incision point. And then carefully stick her on. Try to squeeze that gap as much as we can. I guess you could always come back around with it. It's not rotating, but it doesn't seem so. It doesn't seem very solid. Okay. Do I fill in the cracks in the cork? Do I just hope it stays together? I might do that. Let's finalize the shape before we do. Let's try to smooth out some of these. I'm not going to mess with that side anymore. just knocking off any edges I see. Okay. We'll add a drop in our crack. I wonder if you could come back and kind of chink that area, if that makes any sense. Oh, it's getting more solid. It's getting more solid. And the glue's in the hole, which is good, but it's wet. This would be a good baking soda super glue thing. People make that mixture. I think it'd work well. And then the next step is just painting it. I think I would do more of like a cranberry type berry. Theirs is a green, dark green berry. We'll try. Maybe we do a strawberry, a little red with black dots. That would be hilarious. How we looking? I think we're safe. I'm just trying to wait till that glue dries in that crack. It's not completely dry. We can start on one side. Does the cork? Oh yeah, it covers pretty well. Covers pretty well. Too much. I imagine this is one of those patterns that ages well. After it gets beat up, it might fish better than when it's brand spanking new. You could add a little green hackle, and definitely you could do a little strawberry fly, little raspberry fly. Before we add any other features, we have to let this one dry, so we'll set this aside. Might take a while. So we will clip it and set it to the side. Clip is not strong enough. I might not clip it. Stab it and set it to the side. All right. This was the instructions we were using. Theirs is much more cylindrical, but how he got there, I think, was just a knife and a razor, kind of what I was doing. So it can be done. It can be done. We will, and this is the fish they're catching, the Machaca. It eats the berries. They have some trips. Let's check out a single day trip. I wonder if they have pricing for their single day trips. Cloud forest trout. Let's do the trip for the fruit eater trip. And they don't have pricing, which is fine. That is fine. Let's check out their flies. Not a lot of information about flies. I'm looking for flies. Catch a tuna. Yeah. So that one fruit fly was all they had, which is okay. Let's check out images. That cicada looks pretty nice, but a little bit redundant for me. That lizard is kind of cool. That would be a good mouse platform as well. I would change the head up though, if you're doing a mouse. Some nice crease flies. Always good to have a crease fly. The cockroach. The cockroach that's a tarpon pattern, it looks like. There's the berry. Looks like a different blog. Jeff Courier. Machaca in Costa Rica. They've got some chubbies, some bait fish patterns, a lot of foam, and then the berry fly. Their berry's pretty big. My berry's pretty big too, though. Here's a fish with the berry. I want to find one more thing to tie. Costa Rica themed. I think we're straying away. Straying away from the Costa Rican flies. Fly Lords. This silvery baitfish looks pretty cool, but that's got a lot more dressing than what I usually put on my patterns. Oh, those ones aren't bad. Those look like Crelexes. Mylar popper. We don't have any Mylar. The Clydesdale silver baitfish. Interesting. This thing would catch fish anywhere. Let's see if we can get a better picture of the Clydesdale. It's got some weird weight. Some of them have dubbing heads, but a lot of synthetic. Yeah, we could do the Clydesdale. This has me a little bit thrown. It looks like there's dumbbell eyes, and then the fly is tied on its side, so like a side profile, which I don't know if I would do that. But it would make sense if you were fishing it deep, like dredging it. That would make sense. We'll try to do something like this. Try to do something like that. Lots of synthetics. Pretty big profile. I'm going to do mine a little bit sparser. And then maybe change the color up too. Yeah, I might change the color of mine up. I've got this material brush that I think could be used. It looks like a short shank hook. Something like this. Saltwater grade short shank hook. There's some material acting as a lateral line inside. We'll use hot pink for ours because that's a great color. Now we'll go white. Avoid the hot pink for now. We'll do white. I'm gonna have to hustle for this. The Clydesdale. But what I'm seeing is two tie-ins. That's all I'm seeing. Some kind of weight inside would be good. I'm gonna skip it for now, but I think they're just smart. I'm gonna do a dark interior lateral line. We'll do the synthetic hair. And then I don't need that much. I need about this much. Make sure those tips are tapered. That's good. And we'll tie this in right there. Then we'll trim it off. Clean up the taper. And then we'll do some kind of brush for the body, and then we'll do a head. Brush for the body, we'll use some monofilament. We might want to add some flash to the tail while we're here. While we're here, we'll do pink flashaboo inside, and the rest will be silvery colors. This will stand out. Slightly longer than the hair on the tail. And double it back, because this is a flashy one. Slightly, that's quite a bit longer. Take some of them off. That'll be good. If I'm ever fishing in Costa Rica, this will be useful. Okay, back to our material loop. Tying the mono as a loop. It doesn't have to be big. It's going to be 3 or 4 wraps of the material loop around the base of the loop. We'll lock it in. Get the material ready. We got some pearl mylar. We'll take some of that. Well, that's really long. I'm gonna have it and quarter it, and then I want to keep this as neat as I can. So after we quarter it, we're gonna clip it. We'll clip it just to keep it organized. Then we'll do a little bit of the gray synthetic. A little bit of gray synthetic. Same concept, clipped and quartered. That's good. There's some shorts in there. Actually, I'm gonna just chop it here, and we'll dispose of that. We'll clip that as well. And get our loop, dap it with some wax. And then we will first add our synthetic hair inside our loop. 50-50 would be nice, but maybe 75-30 is more realistic. Distribute that in the loop. And get our silver pearl mylar, distribute that into the loop. Oh, sticking to my fingers. When I'm distributing, I'm just pushing it along with my thumb. pushing it along. If you want to be more accurate, laying it out on a table would give you the best result. We got our paper clip tool. I'll spin it up. Slow, slow, slow. Our loop is humongous and our material is not much. Slow, slow, slow. We don't like the synthetic hairs wrapping around the mono. You don't want that. Slow, slow, slow. The mylar starting to wrap, so we'll tease that out. Slow, slow. The mono is furling on itself. It's ready to go. Ideally, starting loop higher up, it would give us less wasted wraps, but we're gonna have to do some wasted wraps here just to get started, which is never good. The thread was wrapping, so we'll unwrap the thread, and then we'll preen the best we can. Slow, slow. Slow, slow, slow. Let's get it around the bend of the hook. Slow, slow, slow. Too much material's going forward. We don't want that. Distribution isn't terrible though. Oh no. We lost her. We lost the loop. A disaster. There we go. Let's lock it in. I'm trying to clean as much of this up before I lock it in because it'll make life a lot easier. It's locked. Let's trim and preen. Tighten it up. Tighten it up. And gently tease a little bit here. Teasing. Teasing. Synthetic hair is not the best material for. We should have used some of those. Teasing. Taper's not horrible. Knock that, a couple of these strays off. The head of this is going to make or break this pattern. We are a bit hasty with the body, but if we can do a good head, then everything will be all right. something a little darker for the head. I'm gonna take some of this. No, that doesn't look good. I have a gunmetal. Some gunmetal angel hair, that might look nice. We need some bulk. So we'll do a little bit of this stubbing blend. Rolling it in my fingers, trying to get it long. Then I'm gonna tie it in. Most of it up front, because I want it to come back, and then I'm gonna try to distribute. Tight. Belly material. We'll just do some weed pinch of this olive. Laser. Then we'll try to blend it with some we'll blend that with the gunmetal. Actually, we'll do the olive first, then gunmetal over. We're not going to blend it. This might look a little goofy. Because there's more material on the head. But if you distribute it right and thin out the head, which it's already thinning out, then we'll be good. Advance the thread. Pinch her down. Let's get our gunmetal. I'm gonna tease it out. This bunch is a little bit knotted. I'm gonna tease the gunmetal out, and then I'm just gonna veil it. Loose veil over so some will be, it'll be distributed across. Swoop it to the side a bit. Tight. And that kind of ties it together. I could do more of the gunmetal and it would be better. But let's whip it and then glue some eyes on there. Before we glue, we should gently pick. Looks good. Get some eyeballs. I think you're gonna want to oversize those eyeballs. Big old eyeballs on there. Some big golden eyes. When you glue them in though, you'd want them higher, not like 50-50. You want them kind of sitting pretty high. So the distribution, like the fly is kind of angled up. That's what you'd want. Let's get a little glue. We'll aim high. I'm gonna pull gently and then drop. Lots of glue. I'll place the eye and rest it, not pressing too hard. It'll solidify nicely. Let's gather again. Aim high. Oh, a little bit too high. Drop it on. Press it down. And then clean it up. We got some strays on the belly here that we gotta get rid of. Knock those out. Knock those out. Yeah. What could have made this better is a little wing, filling out that back. So we would have tied that in separately. So we did the material wrap, and then we could have added a little wing and then start the head. It'd be a little bit more proportioned. But I mean, the purpose of something like this is just to be flashy, and I think we accomplished that. We are flashy. Flashy, flashy. There's a stray on the belly. All right. Finito. Let's check in on our berry. Chuck berry fly. Oh yeah, we're good. We're good to go. We are good to go. 2 flies today. 1 flashy Clydesdale and 1 corked berry fly. All right, I appreciate you all, and I'll catch you next time.